think Drake Maye said, I wish you'd have started holding a little earlier. I mean, he's just been getting smoked.
Vestas, if you come into this room, this Super Bowl is over. Go ahead and let YouTube go ahead and send out this notification. This Super Bowl is over. Drake Maye has been demolished by the Seahawks. Oh. Drake Maye demolished. As of now, they still got 3 minutes left in the fourth, but Drake Maye, the Seahawks have been over Drake Maye. It seemed like the Patriots were trying to come back with about 9 minutes left in the game. Drake Maye had got hot. He attempted another one of those long passes down the field, and this time his receivers caught it. You hear what I'm saying? And then Drake Maye actually had a touchdown. And it seemed like the Patriots was warming up against the Seahawks. But after those two interceptions, the Seahawks has just been dominant all over the Super Bowl. You might as well say the Super Bowl is over. 29-7 with 3 minutes left in the game. Drake Maye is still going. Drake Maye just made a beautiful about 20 to 30-yard pass to one of his wide receivers, and that was Diggs. If you don't know who Diggs is, that's Cardi B's significant other. Drake Maye just threw a bomber down the field. Let's see what's going. The ball seemed like the ball is on the 11th. Patriots, 11 yards. They're first and goal. Even if the Patriots get this touchdown, there's no way they can come back with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game. Seahawks demolished New England. Hey, congratulations, Seahawks. I'm going to go ahead and give you congratulations. And investors, the only reason I'm doing these type of reportings, because guess what? Shedeursanders will be in the Super Bowl 1 year. And guess what? I'm going to report on that just like I'm reporting on this. So Super Bowl 60 post-game report, 60. Super Bowl 60 post-game report. We still got 2 minutes left in the game. The Patriots is on the 12-yard line, attempted to score. Let's see what happens. Even if they get the touchdown, the game is over. Failed attempt, pass no good. Pass no good. Let me see.
Much more positive place for these players. Well, and the other thing they did was they switched out what they were doing on the offensive side, right? It just wasn't matching his vision.
Seahawks 29, New England 7.
Once they made that change,
2:28 left in the game.
Offense, defense, special teams, it was all one.
Drake Maye drops back. Oh. Touchdown. Drake Maye almost fumbled the ball, almost tripped up his old shoes, but he actually made connection with his running back Stevenson. Touchdown. Drake Maye to Stevenson. Number 38. Oh, that was close. It almost hit the ground. Touchdown. That was a very close catch to the ground, but no, it didn't touch the ground. Stevenson, the Patriots running back Stevenson made a good catch. Touchdown. So now the score is 29-13. 2 minutes left still in the game. There's no way the Seahawks can come back, but hey, you never know. We've seen some comebacks in Super Bowl histories that were phenomenal. But I think nope. They attempted the 2-point conversion. No good. Seemed like some players are down in the end zone on both sides of the ball. The Patriots and the Seahawks got players down in the end zone. Oh, Kobe Bryant. Is that the Kobe Bryant that used to play against Shedeur Sanders in the Colorado Buffaloes? I made it look I may need to look that up. I think that's Kobe Bryant that used to play against Shedeur and the Colorado Buffaloes. I need to look that up. We still got 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Huh. That could be Kobe Bryant that played against the Colorado Shedeur and team. And if so, that means that's another rookie along with Jalen Milroe that is about to get a Super Bowl ring their first year in the NFL and that extra $1 million bonus. Go ahead, young man. Let me see here. Seahawks number 8. Kobe Bryant. No, that's a different Kobe Bryant. So that is not the Kobe Bryant that played against Shedeur and the Buffaloes in the last 2 years. So this is a different Kobe Bryant. Very similar names. All right, left in the game, we have same 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Seemed like it was a game break. The score is 29-13. Seahawks have won this game unless a miracle happens in the next 2 minutes, which is highly possible. And investors, I'm going to go ahead and give you my recap. But Dre Make has been demolished. Dre Make in the first half was sacked 3 times. In the second half, with 8 minutes left in the fourth, he had been sacked another 3 times. Drake Maye made history the wrong way tonight. He is the most sacked quarterback in NFL history because of this year. Drake Maye has been sacked, I think, a total of 23 to 26 sacks this year. The Seahawks been eating Drake Maye up for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. You hear what I'm saying? That defense has been immaculate in the Super Bowl. The Patriots quarterback looked nervous. Yes. Well, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Drake Maye, this is his second year in the league. So I understand why he's nervous. But after being sacked 3 times in the first half and sacked 3 times in the second half, you'll be nervous too. Altogether, I think so far this season, he's been sacked between 22 and 26 times. So he's the most quarterback QB in history postseason. Before he broke history, he was tied with 19 with, Jobe. Jobe was the most sacked quarterback in history in 2021. Before Dre Make broke this record, he was tied for second. But now, after this game, he's the most sacked quarterback post-game NFL history. All right, once again, Kenneth Walker's on the move. I think the Seahawks can really score again in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. If you didn't watch my halftime report, Kenneth Walker kept along with the kicker, of course, because we got to talk about the kicker. Along with the kicker for the Seahawks, Kenneth Walker kept the Seahawks in this game. That running back at the half had, I think he had roughly 84 yards. At the beginning of the fourth, the running back for the Seahawks had 156. So now he's probably close to 200. Probably at the end of the game, it's going to be 200. But Seduersanders will be in the Super Bowl eventually one year. And I'm going to give my same attention to him and any other Colorado Buffalo. Why didn't Arnold do that? Why did Arnold just go back and fall like that? Still got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game. The Seahawks are laughing on the sideline. The Seahawks players are laughing on the sideline. And shout out to a Seattle Seahawks linebacker. Avesta contacted me. There is a linebacker that plays for the Seahawks. His name is I wrote that down. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's from their hometown of Aiken, South Carolina. So shout out to South Carolina. You got a Super Bowl winner. Another one has been added to your book. All right, 3rd and 13. Seahawks have the ball. Once again, Walker broke loose. Touchdown. What did I just say? Kenneth Walker has been keeping the Seahawks. Oh, what did I say? Kenneth Walker have kept the Seahawks in the game. And once again, holding. Let's see. Oh, what? They said holding against the Seahawks? Are they going to call that touchdown back? Okay, the hold 61. They're calling holding on 61. Oh, that's why. Oh, yeah, that was a hold. That's why Walker was able to break through and get down that field. So they're going to call that touchdown back. That was a good run. Come on, 61. You already won the game. Why hold? You already won the game. All right, Vestas. Okay. That would have been Walker's first touchdown in the game total. All right, so now we're down with still 2 minutes and 1 second left, Vestas. Walker, they unwrapped up Walker quick. Got to the line of scrimmage. Too easy. 2-minute warning, Vestas. 2-minute warning. Yeah, that game is over. Yeah, that game is over. 2-minute warning, Vestas. 2-minute warning. So, hey, Seattle defense, as I stated in my halftime report, the only way that the Seahawks did not win this game, if they went into the locker room, someone put something in their water, if they came out of that locker room with a different mindset. When the Seahawks came out after halftime, they were still on it like they just started playing. The Seahawks came out of that locker room with frequency, intensity, time, and type, and they have not let up on the Patriots. If you just coming in this room, the Seahawks have and sacked Drake Maye 6 times in this game, making Drake Maye the highest, most sacked quarterback in NFL history postseason. He was tied with Joe Burrow at the half with 19. Now with three additional sacks, 22 sacks postseason. Drake Maye this offseason, he needs rest and recovery. You hear what I'm saying? You said it. I did say it. I said in my half, hey, Seahawks will win this game. It seemed like Vegas, before the game, the Seahawks had a 75% probability of winning. At the half, it increased to 81.8. So, hey, somebody saw something. Drake Maye has been looking nervous. He's been running for his life ever since the beginning of the game. And in the second half of the game, he's still running for his life. To the halftime, Seahawks came out with force. Yeah, Seahawks came out with force. And they didn't let up on that gas. Normally, you see teams come out in the third quarter, especially in the fourth quarter, they get kind of, how can I say it, lackadaisical, not the Seahawks. And that's when Drake Maye and the team, that's when the Patriots tried to come out and actually make a touchdown, which they did, and they tried to heat up. Drake Maye started throwing that ball down the field. Very good catches, but also those 2 interceptions back-to-back in less than 2 minutes hurt them bad. After that, the Seahawks just sealed the game. All right, all these commercials. Super Bowl commercial is on. Yeah, Seahawks won this game. Easy. 29-13, 1 minute, 57 seconds left in the game. Seahawks. All right, Seahawks kicking it off. And the Seahawks kicker made history tonight also before the fourth. Now, let me tell you when the first touchdown was scored. The first touchdown in this game, because this game has been a defensive game all the way through the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the beginning of the fourth quarter. The first touchdown was scored with 13 minutes and 24 seconds in the fourth. At the beginning of the fourth, first touchdown. So going back to the Seahawks kicker, he made history. Now, mind you, before that touchdown, I think the score was 12-0, 19-0. With that being said, the kicker, minus that touchdown, had scored all the other points. When he made the next field goal, he became the most, let me give it to him right, the most points scored in NFL history, and he was a kicker with 202. Before then, it was LaDainian Thompson. Did you hear what I'm saying? LaDainian Thompson, and he was a running back. So this kicker, Jason Myers, salute to you. He's been kicking. He's made 202 points this season. So shout out to the Seahawks. 1 minute left in the game. Drake Maye throwing down the field again. That is caught, first down. I still can't see him coming back. It's down. It's under 1 minute now. I can't see the new the Patriots coming back. Impossible. But Drake Maye, it seems like he's gonna go out with a fight. See a flag. Sacked. If that sack stands, Drake Maye has been sacked 7 times in this game. If it stands. There was a flag thrown before he was sacked. Offside defense, number 7. So that was against the Seahawks. 47 seconds left. The defense on both sides of the ball has been brutal. Even Darnold, he was getting sacked. I think he only has been sacked once in the game. All right, Drake is running. He throws down the field. Out of bounds. 30 seconds and another flag. Called against the defense again. Come on, Seattle. Stop with the penalties. Just let the game in. Let the game in. Y'all have already won the Super Bowl. Seahawks. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations to Jalen Milroe that was drafted with Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, rookie quarterback drafted this year. He has a Super Bowl ring and $1 million in bonus. Congratulations. Drake Maye throws again. Nope. 30 seconds left. They did not get that. Now it is what? Second down. Drake Maye attempts to throw again. He drops back. Woo! Nope. He attempted probably about a 50-yard pass. He didn't catch it. 12 seconds left. 12 seconds left in the game. And here we go. Mike McDonald, which is the Seahawks, he's the 3rd youngest head coach to win Super Bowl at the age of 38. There it is. All right, Drake Maye connected with his tight end. They're on the run. Oh, he's still running. He's been dropped down at the 29. That's it. Super Bowl is over. Super Bowl is over. Just take a knee. Just take a knee. So there it is. The Seahawks have won the game. Investors and viewers, this is a practice run for when Shedeur Sanders get into the Super Bowl. But shout out to the Seahawks. This was a very interesting game. It was a very dominant defense game in the beginning. The second half, it turned into more of an offensive game. So, hey, I'm not disappointed. This actually was a pretty good Super Bowl 60. So let's talk about it. So as I stated, Drake Maye, this was his first Super Bowl appearance. This was only his second year in the league. So I keep bringing up Shedeur Sanders. Even though Shedeur Sanders is about to go into his second year in the NFL, guess what? He can make it to the Super Bowl next year. Look at Drake Maye. Look at Drake Maye. I didn't look up. Hey, can somebody look up Drake Maye when he was drafted, what round he was drafted, what pick he was drafted? Because if he was picked in the picked in the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth or seventh round, this lets you know it doesn't matter when you was wherever you was drafted. Shedeur Sanders could be where Drake Maye. No, we ain't gonna say that. We're gonna say Darnold. Shedeur Sanders can be where the Seahawks are this year. This year. So this is Maye's second year in the league. Of course, he didn't win, but he still got to the Super Bowl. Let's see here. Yeah, once again, if you didn't catch the beginning, in 3 quarters, he became the most sacked QB in NFL history. At the end of this game, I think he's been sacked 22 to 23 times. I'm sorry, 6 to 7 times, making him the most sacked quarterback postseason game. Okay. Now, what did I say in the half that came true at the end of the game? I stated that the Seahawks, as long as they keep that momentum, they will win this game. Beginning of the game, 75% winning probability. At the half, 81.8. And guess what? They just won their Super Bowl. So everything I said, and Kenneth Walker III kept the Seahawks into the game. Now, yeah, this is not a team that I normally report on. As you know, I'm all Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders, but the effort that this team gave, I would love to see. I ain't gonna say that. I would love to see the Cleveland Browns play the Seahawks next year. That would be a nice game to gauge the Cleveland Browns on in 2026. So I need to see if they're going to be on their schedule or not. I don't know if that schedule came out. But the Seahawks did it. Darnold, congratulations. I want Shedeur Sanders to meet him next year. I want Junkins to go up against their running back, Kenneth Walker. That'll be a good matchup. What else was it? Now, in the first half, I reported that the game was more of a defensive game. So at the first half, Darnold only threw for maybe 84 yards, and Maye had a number similar to Dillon Gabriel, 48 yards. That's how powerful each defense was, and that's how weak each offensive line was. Both of those quarterbacks, even though Darnold wasn't sacked as much as Maye, he was on the run for his life also. He was definitely on the run. Let me see what the ending of in the game stats were. Because I think in the fourth, Darnold went up to about 200. And I know it's more. I know it's more now. Let's see what he ended the game with. As of now, final score, as you know, at 29-13. Each quarterback. There you go. Darnold ended the game with 202. Drake Maye ended the game with 295. I think that's backwards. But we shall see. We definitely shall see. All right, so with that being said, the first TD did not come into the game, didn't come up into the fourth quarter with 13 minutes. Fourth quarter, 13 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. And that was Darnold to Seahawks wide receiver 88 Barner. So that was good. Yeah, I really thought that the game was over in the third quarter. It was like 19-0. The fourth quarter, I thought it was just going to be written in the books. The Seahawks won, but Maye, whatever pep talk he got on the sideline, hey, he came, got a touchdown. I think he actually got 2 touchdowns. He was 27 for 43, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The interception is what actually hurt the Patriots in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. They was actually on the move now. They actually was on the move. And at that time, the game was getting a little closer. But those 2 interceptions back-to-back within 2 minutes, it killed the Patriots' momentum. All right, in terms of rushing yards, Kenneth Walker, the third, he had 135 yards. And Drake Maye, believe it or not, Drake Maye was the leading rusher on the Patriots. He ended with 37. Their run game, as I stated, the Seahawks defense was a beast. If you remember Marshawn Lynch, that's how the Seahawks defense was. The Seahawks defense tonight, From start to finish, there was not even 1 week quarter, not 1 week second a minute. Those men were solid tonight from start to finish. And I think that's what made the game more entertainment. They didn't let up not a little bit on the gas. So there it is. So Drake Maye was their leading rusher tonight with 37 yards. That Seahawks defense was not playing. All right, in terms of receiving yards, Cup for the Seahawks had 61, and Hollins for the Pats had 78. Nobody can, with that defense on the field, nobody couldn't catch nothing. Okay, and in terms of sacks, it was 2 and 1. Of course, that was for the Seahawks, and then the tackles, Jones for the Seahawks had 11, and Wilson for the Pats had 10. Very defensive game. Very defensive game. So what else? What else was it? So yeah, Drake Maye tried to turn up the heat in the fourth quarter with 9:37 left in the game, and he was on it. He must have shook off that rush and all that nerves, but he actually was on it. But it was them interceptions. I guess he got too careless, or he was afraid that defense was coming, and he threw, very bad interceptions. But without those interceptions, I think we actually could have went into overtime. But who knows? So congratulations to the Seahawks. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. All right, and I don't think I missed anything, but Drake Maye got it up, sacked 6-7 times in this game. And shout out to the kicker for the Seahawks. The most points scored in NFL history with 201. I think tonight, minus that one touchdown, I think he scored, about 20, 21 points tonight for the Seahawks. So shout out. All right. Third over. Okay, thank you. Hey, thank you, Grim Creeper. Third overall pick. Oh, really? Grim Creeper. Hey, remind me. Did I ask you for the pick for Drake Maye? Because I know he's not better than Shedeur. I think I asked you to look that up, or someone to ask that up. If that's the case, we already know. Shedeur definitely supposed to have been a first rounder. Ain't no online, the QB stats or reverse. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the stats on ESPN, and that's why I knew something was wrong. So Darnold has the 295, and Drake Maye has 202. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't take a knee, especially, those unnecessary flags and violations. Just take a knee. The game was already over. I don't know why they was prolonging the game, and maybe that's why they was just trying to prolong the game. Who knows what type of conditional requirements they have to meet. Don't know. But hey, Vestas, hey, that's it. Vestas, that was a pretty good game, though. That was a solid game. I was very surprised. Like, the intent of me doing the halftime report and the post game report is just to get ready for Shedeur and the Cleveland Browns go to the Super Bowl. But this was you think they prolonged the well, yeah, maybe Vegas did call in some favors like, hey, whoa. Hey, this parlay says this. Hey, no. This particular player needs to get X amount of yards, or we need to stop it here. Hey, Vegas probably picked up that phone. Who knows? But I had fun reporting the halftime report and the post game. It was a very good game. I'm sorry. I keep saying this. The Seahawks defense, all of them, there was not one weakness. So let's talk about Cleveland for a second. Jim Schwartz left. We know that. So we kind of see there's a weakness. We don't know who's coming in, but whoever comes in, if they're able to bring in a defensive mind like the Seahawks defensive coordinator is, build upon what we have now in Cleveland, because before Shedeur started playing, the Cleveland Browns defense was first in the league, second, third, fourth. And I think when SedueurSanders started playing, they dropped out the top 5 or maybe the top 5, especially when Myles Garrett wasn't playing. But if we could get a defensive coordinator to come in like the Seahawks, listen, viewers, investors, if you didn't watch the game, and even if you watched the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Seahawks defense was solid at every position, every player. It was no weakness. The only weakness I saw on both teams, which I brought up in my halftime report, the O-line for each team. And I don't know what's going on with these O-line members. I don't know. I don't know for any team. The Patriots let Maye get sacked 6 to 7 times this game. I think 7 times. Oh gosh, I'm glad them teenagers ain't in this room with that 6-7 thing. But he was sacked 3 times in the first half, 3 to 4 times in the second half. Darnold, even though his offensive line didn't hold up or didn't allow him to get sacked, he still was running for his life also. I seen glimpses of them, both of them quarterbacks running for their life like SuperBowl was running for their life. And I'm like, this is the O-line. They can't hold it together for 4 more quarters, and you were in the Super Bowl. This is your last game into the 2026 season, and you can't protect your quarterback? Even for the Seahawks or for the Patriots, the O-line, once again, was the weakest link on each team. So George Warhop, this year coming. So now that the Super Bowl is over, now we can focus on all the players now that's going to be at the combine and undrafted free agent. Undrafted free agent is March the 9th. You can start early negotiations. They actually start signing contracts on the 11th of March. So we have, what's today? And to investors, Shiloh's birthday is tomorrow. So I will be doing a live for Shilo at 12/21. 21, of course, that's his jersey number. And if you reverse those numbers, that's 12. So at 12/21, I will be going hot again to celebrate Shiloh's birthday tomorrow. And I also have a video for Shilo. So everybody, please go out and give Shilo, big brother Shilo, his happy birthday notes and posts tomorrow also on his social media. But the O-line tonight, I don't know. The Bears had a good O-line. Cleveland better get a good O-line. They need to start looking at now that the Super Bowl is over, Andrew Berry, George Warhol start calling people undrafted free agent O-line members. That left tackle, we need 1, 2, 3, need 4 or 5 of those just on left tackle. That's reserved because that's SuperBowl blind side. Okay. And then, hey, I think on the current Cleveland Browns O-line, I think Teller is the only one that's coming back. And if that's the case, I'm fine with that. But we need that wall. And they said George Warhop, he knows how to build an O-line. Darnold redeemed himself. Remember the last Super Bowl he had? Did he? And then they traded him to Detroit for. Oh, no, I didn't know that. So Darnold redeemed himself. Remember the last Super Bowl he had three points, and they traded him to Detroit for Stafford, and Stafford won it with the Rams. Congratulations. Yeah. Hey, that's what I've been saying. Congratulations, Sam Darnold. I've been putting the A in there. Hey, investors and viewers. I've been tearing that man's name up. So it's Darnold. No, I didn't know that. So Jenkins, I haven't watched, except for the last 2 years, I really haven't watched the Super Bowl because it seemed like Tom Brady always, for some reason, winding up. I think the last Super Bowl I watched is when Atlanta Falcons went against Tom Brady. And when Atlanta was winning that game up into the third quarter, and then something magically happened, I said, "Oh no, I'm not watching this mess no more." And then I think the next year, that's when the Colin Kaepernick thing happened. So no, really, this is my first 2 games being familiar with Darnold, but he played his tail off today because that O-line was weak. Oh, Darnold was very elusive. He is a veteran. He is not a second-year veteran as Maye, but he is a veteran. But he was very elusive. That joker was moving. Hey, if you see how big Seahawks defense was, and that was another thing in their strength. The Seahawks, I mean, they was huge and they was mean and aggressive. They didn't have no smiles on their face. So I love it. I love it for the Seahawks. I love it for the Seahawks. So yeah, that's my rundown. But congratulations to him. 420 Jenkins. I don't know if you came in the room when I stated this, but if you don't know, and to all the viewers, if you don't know, there was a rookie that was drafted in the class with Shedeur Sanders in the 3rd round, 2 spots before Dillon. His name is Jalen Milroe. I think he came from the University of Alabama, the Crimson Tide. We all know that young man also got railroaded into this, in the NFL draft last year. But guess what? First year rookie, he has a Super Bowl ring. And he has, I think it's $1 million bonus. So Shedeur Sanders, he has had some redemption by being a Pro Bowler. And Jalen Milroe, another black young quarterback that was railroaded because he definitely shouldn't have went into the 3rd round. Not two spots in front of Dillon Gabriel, but he was also railroaded. So that young man, his rookie year in the NFL, has a Super Bowl ring and an extra $1 million in his pocket. And I think the Seahawks. Oh, let me tell you this, viewers, investors. Let me tell you this. I knew it was something significant about the Seahawks. Subconsciously, something was significant about the Seahawks. It just hit me. I started talking about the draft. Remember, the Baltimore Ravens was, okay, Cleveland picked up Shedeur round 5, 144. The Baltimore Ravens wanted to pick up Shedeur Sanders, we know for sure, round 5, 144. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens or the Eagles, one of them actually wanted to get Shedeur Sanders earlier than the 5th round, but he kept saying no. He said, as we know, he said no to the Eagles and he said no to the Ravens. Guess what? Investors, hold on to this. And if you don't believe me, Google it yourself. I know it was a reason why the Seahawks was significant. Guess who originally had round 5, number 144? Oh my gosh. The Cleveland Browns. Oh, no. So the answer to that question was the Seahawks. The Seahawks originally had round 5, 144. Cleveland Browns was, let's say, about 161, 162. They had to give 2 picks to the Seahawks to pick up Shedeur Sanders at round 44. So if the Cleveland Browns didn't pick up Shedeur Sanders, do you know who would have been sitting on the sideline or back up to Arnold or may even have got a rep or 2 in this game? It would have been Shedeur Sanders. If you don't believe me, go ahead. The Seahawks who just won the Super Bowl 60, they had round 5, pick 144. That means Shedeur Sanders, even in the 5th round, would have won a Super Bowl. So come on, okay. Let me put the pieces together. Let me say it one more time. If the Cleveland Browns, for whatever reasons they picked Shedeur Sanders up, if they would have just let the draft win as if, and if they never gave up, because mind you, they gave up 2 5th rounders to the Seahawks to pick up Shedeur Sanders at round 5, 144. If it would have stayed as if, Shedeur Sanders would have been getting a ring tonight as a Super Bowl champion and an extra $1 million as 5th round 144. Okay, thank you for looking. Yes. Oh my. I knew it was something about the Seahawks. I don't know what it was. Because at first, remember, if you saw my lives this week, I didn't know if I was going to report on the game. But something kept pushing me to report on this game. And I think that's what it was. If the Cleveland Browns didn't trade up and get Shedeur at 144, Shedeur Sanders now would have been on that TV with a Super Bowl ring and had Super Bowl, just like Jalen Milroe. Fisher can say that he is a Super Bowl champion. There it is, Vestas. There it is. I remember him. Wow, congratulations. Yes, they did him wrong too. I think they did. Oh, they did so many. They did him wrong. They did Jalen Milroe wrong. He came from the University of Alabama. He definitely was supposed to be in late first, beginning of the second. That didn't happen. He dropped down to the third, 2 spots before Dillon Gabriel, believe it or not. Shedeur Sanders, they did a lot of quarterbacks wrong. They did a lot of quarterback. It was another black quarterback. I can't remember his name. They did it wrong too. But don't you see how everything is working out? Even though they did all of these black quarterbacks wrong, it's still ways where they actually have had success. See what I'm saying? So once Cleveland come in with the new DC, just like Caleb Williams. Remember Caleb Williams, his first rookie year, his stats was horrible. It's because that O-line. And I'm surprised that this O-line even got this far in the Super Bowl because they was horrible tonight. Drake made the Patriots O-line, allowed him to get sacked 6 to 7 times. But, yeah, that's what it was. Shedeur Sanders would have been on the sideline in the center of the field right now, getting the Super Bowl ring as 5th round, number 144. I tried to tell people when the NFL colluded on teams had to go, okay, thank you. I'm going to read this out loud because I want this to be part of this video forever and ever and ever. 420 Jenkins said, I tried to tell people when the NFL colluded on 12, teams had to get players they didn't want, and some ended up in I couldn't have said that better. Just like Jalen Milroe, and thank you for bringing that. Just like Jalen Milroe, let's say he would have been drafted in the 1st round or the 2nd round and went to any other team minus the Seahawks. He wouldn't have been there. A Super Bowl. So I need to go back. I need to do some research. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna follow up on this video because I need to see where all of the black quarterbacks went this year in the draft, how they slid, and what's the outcome. As we know, Shedeur Sanders, a Pro Bowler, QB1. Even though he was QB4, he's QB1, and he's going in 2026 as the starter. Jalen Milroe, even though he dropped in the 3rd quarter, number 92, Super Bowl champion. You can't take that away from these young men. You can't take these away from these young men. That's why he would either win the Super Bowl with the Browns. He's gonna deliver. Let me tell you. Thank you for that, also, Jenkins. Let me tell you this: if Cleveland Browns want to play that stupid game they played this year, and the only thing I've held against Todd Monken so far is that he should have went committed. If you are a leader, especially if you come in as a head coach, stand 10 toes down. Yeah, I came here to build around Shedeur Sanders. Yep. Just like Kevin Stefanski, even though quote unquote Kevin Stefanski didn't say it, we knew that Kevin Stefanski was building around Shedeur Sanders. If I was Todd Monken, I would have pulled up my slacks, put up my belt, tucked my vest, and say, yeah, I'm building around Shedeur Sanders. And hey, if Shedeur Sanders don't get him to the promised land, or he don't get Shedeur Sanders to the promised land, at least he went out as a leader. At least he showed his leadership skills of saying, yes, I'm here to build around Shedeur Sanders. And the only way Shedeur Sanders loses QB1, Shedeur Sanders will have to give it up or stop playing wrong, or playing different. But yeah, I think, so what I was saying was, if the Cleveland Browns want to play stupid games, and let's say trade Shedeur for whatever, or I can't see it happen. But let's say they get dumb in the midnight hour and give Shedeur Sanders to another team. Whatever team Shedeur Sanders goes to, it's already written in destiny and his fate. He will be in the Super Bowl. Because if the Cleveland Browns would have left Shedeur Sanders alone this year, Shedeur Sanders would have been on the field as a Super Bowl champion. If you're just coming in the room, why did I say that? I brought up the 2025 NFL draft order. The original owner of round 5, 144, was the Seattle Seahawks. If Cleveland Browns did not jump up to get Shedeur Sanders, because they had to give up 2 picks to the Seahawks in order to get, why nobody brings that up? Even for the Cleveland Browns was not the original owner of round 5, slot 144. They had to give up 2 picks to the Seahawks to get Shedeur Sanders. If they would have just left it alone, Shedeur Sanders would have been on the field tonight as a Super Bowl champion. Kenneth Walker just won MVP. Oh, good. Good. Yes. Jenkins, you probably wasn't in here when I started this video, especially my halftime report. Because Tony Talks vested up. I was in here going against the official halftime report. I had some viewers, investors in here, and I appreciate them. But I brought up the game was so defensive on the front end of the game. Kenneth Walker kept, and he deserves that MVP. He kept the Seahawks into that game. I mean, he kept. I mean, that he was built like Doric. I will say he is built like LaDainian Thompson. I know I messed his name up. LaDainian used to play for the Chargers. And Warwick Dunn, very small in stature but square built, and he was bouncing. If you did not get Kenneth Walker down on that initial hit and contact, he was going. He still was gonna get every inch, every yard, every mile you gave him. So yes, he deserves the MVP. Yeah, yeah. I think now Junkins is a very good running back. I think Junkins, he's still young. He hasn't developed that grown man weight, but I can see him once he gets some more pounds on him, once he recover, because he still has to recover from that injury that he sustained with his ankle. Ooh, dislocated ankle. They said about 5 months, but it's still going to be longer because you can't put that pressure on it, right? But yeah, Kenneth Walker deserves that MVP. That is awesome. First running back in 28 years? Really? I didn't know that. Well, I guess I can see that because most times they'll give it to a quarterback. Yeah, I can see that. But congratulations, Kenneth Walker. He did play for the Memphis, Tennessee, when he was in college. So congratulations. Very handsome young man. He's very, very handsome. Yeah, shout out to Kenneth Walker. In that second half, if you think he was good in that first half, he was deadly in that second half. They couldn't catch him. And he would have got his first Super Bowl TD, I'm going to say, in the last 3 minutes of the game. But there was an offensive line for the Seahawks, number 61. He was caught holding. And so they had to call back that touchdown that Walker did get, only because of that holding. I don't know why. 61 should have just, whatever they do, hit him and let him go. But, man, Walker was on it. Yeah, he is definitely Ford tough, a true dog. So, yeah, Vestas, I'm definitely going to change this video right here because this would have been Shedeur Sanders' slot and accolades and something extra on his resume this year. So, does anybody? Hey, thank you so much, Ford Jenkins, coming in with those receipts. And Graham Creeper, I see you a lot. Thank you so much for coming in with those receipts. But congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, Vestas on had y'all up 48 minutes. Listen to Tony Talks vested up. But man, I enjoyed this right here. Now I know why I had to do the halftime report and even this post game. This would have been Shedeur Sanders. This would have been Shedeur Sanders. But it's okay. Shout out to Jalen Milroe. So, hey, go out on his social media platform and say congratulations to him, too, because Jalen Milroe drafted along with Shedeur Sanders, a rookie quarterback. He has a Super Bowl ring tonight. Of course, I didn't see him last night. I didn't see him in the playoffs. But guess what? Everybody, and this is what I found out. This is what I do like about the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the practice squad. As long as you're on that active roster of practice squad, you get a Super Bowl. You get a Super Bowl ring, and I think the practice squad may get some money, but Jalen Milroe is not on the practice squad. He's going to get that $1 million. Hold on. Let me check this right here, because that young man done got that extra bread. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and see how much the Super Bowl winner makes. But shout out to Jalen Milroe. So that means that so that means that Jalen Milroe, who was done over by the NFL, and Shedeur Sanders. So Jalen Milroe was picked up in round 3, number 92. Shedeur Sanders was picked up round 5. If the Seahawks didn't trade with Cleveland, because they had to agree to the trade. That means that Jalen Milroe and Shedeur Sanders, two rookie black quarterbacks that the NFL did wrong, would have been on that sideline as super. I don't think the haters could have handled that. Shedeur Sanders, a Super Bowl champion his first year, after everything that NFL did to collude against that young man. But for now, I will take the Pro Bowl nod, them 230 yards, 18 or 22, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions that Shedeur Sanders did in the Pro Bowl. I'd take that. But shout out to Jalen Milroe. Let me see how much the Super Bowl winner makes. Take home. Oh, that's it. I'm so sorry. I've been putting out the wrong information. This has to be wrong. I thought they get $1 million. Oh, you know who get the $1 million? My bad. It's the coaches. The coach get the $1 million. So the players, the winners receive a bonus of $178,000 to $188,000. It's the coaches that get the money, but still, there's still some extra money in this pocket. I sure thought it was an extra $1 million, but it's the coaches that get that money, or maybe even higher. Who knows? Is that? Hey, you're right. I take that too. Of course, they go tax it crazy. They go tax it, but still, even if they tax 50%, because where did they play this at? California. Oh my gosh. I didn't know this about NFL players. It was some NFL players that brought this up in other videos, especially at the beginning of the season. And the reason why, quote unquote, NFL players go broke, they don't take in consideration the taxes. So with the Super Bowl being played in California, I think California has the highest or the second highest tax bracket in the USA. California finna eat up. So they have to pay taxes in whatever states they play throughout the regular season and also the postseason. So California, the winners of the Super Bowl, they finna get taxed. Ooh, nasty. So Jalen Milroe, let's say he was slotted at the bottom end of it, 178,000. He may take home 80. But it's a little extra something in his pocket. But yeah, I take that too. And guess what? He didn't get brutalized like the Patriots quarterback, Maye. Well, of course he's not on the Seahawks, but still, that means all I was trying to say is he didn't get bruised, beat up, mangled by the Patriots defense, because they had a good defense too. They wasn't as good as the Seahawks defense, but Jalen Milroe sat on that bench, drunk all the water and Gatorade that he wanted to, didn't have to worry about getting hit, brutalized by the Patriots defense, and he made 80,000. Go ahead, young man. Shout out to you, young man. Shout out to you. The government knows what they're doing. Yes. Yeah, I know. And so Shedeur Sanders' contract, what, $4 million, $1 million per year. Man, you know how Cleveland Browns, after let's say take half of it, right, for taxes. That means Shedeur Sanders, the Cleveland Browns only probably really played Shedeur Sanders once he had all the taxes taken out. Now, the only game that Shedeur Sanders did not get taxed, and I think was the Vegas game, because they don't have state tax. I think that's what it is. Okay. I may be wrong, but Vegas don't have state tax. I think. But let's say even if they do, that means Shedeur Sanders, after contracted for $1 million this year, that young man probably brought home 300,000. That's it. 300,000. 300,000 may look like. Hey, the way that the Seahawks defense was after Maye, he did look like Dillon. The only difference was he could get that ball down that field. Now, Maye, as I said in my first half, he came out that second quarter. I'm gonna say in my first half. After I guess he wasn't the running back on the Patriots wasn't getting enough traction on that field, Drake Maye started that second quarter with a bomber down that field. He threw that ball for 20 to 40 yards. Gonzalez just couldn't get it because he was sandwiched between two Seahawk defenders, but Drake Maye was throwing that ball. That's the only difference between him and Dillon Gabriel. But yeah, he was running around like Dillon Gabriel because that Seahawk defense was on him. They were on him. He was listen. I'm pretty sure the highlights is not going to show it, but I saw a glimpse of Drake Maye running, and his face was clenched up like he was trying to get to that sideline as soon as he can. The Seahawks was they had his number tucked in tight in their jerseys. They wanted Drake Maye, and he was running for his life tonight. They should have let you petty. Hold on. You know what, 420? You need to go to the corner with that. Did you see in the fourth quarter? Now, this was another stupid play by the Seahawks, and they already won the game. It was a Seahawk player, number 29. His name was Joe. I'm going to say Jobe, Jobe. Did you see him push Stephon Diggs after Stephon Diggs had already stepped the play was over in the sidelines, and 29 from the Seahawks came over and pushed him? I'm surprised that player didn't get ejected. He also threw a punch. I'm surprised they did not eject him out of the game. And the game was already won. That was so stupid. But you're right, Cardi B. Listen, the Patriots offense, the wide receivers on both ends, because I already called out those stats. None of them had success tonight. Vestas and View. You know, Diggs will probably count on that extra money for all of those babies he's having. But yeah, nobody on that Patriots sideline. After I saw it in their eyes when Drake Maye threw that second interception, because they was on the road now. Probably about with 6 minutes or 5 minutes left in the game, when he threw that interception, you saw everybody, including the coach on the Patriots side, drop their head. But Vestas and Viewers, that's why I had to bring this video to you. The original owners of round 5, 144 was the Seahawks. I would have loved for Seduersanders to be out on that field, getting that Super Bowl ring tonight and an extra $90,000, but in due time. Cleveland Browns. One of my I love watching him. His name is Colin. His channel is Life and Footballs. He said, I think that's his channel name, Life and Football. He said we would be able to tell which direction Cleveland is going to go next month in undrafted free agent. Of course, with the O-line members and the wide receivers, but a telltale sign if they even think about playing this quarterback carousel they had this last year, if they pick up a quarterback in undrafted season. Now, if you don't know this, he also stated in a live last week, giving shouts out to Colin. It came out that Derek Carr, remember Derek Carr from the Saints? Number 9, he retired after Tyler Show was drafted last year for the Saints, round 1, number 9. Derek Carr is coming out of retirement. He said he can throw now. So we shall see if the Cleveland Browns want to play stupid. Now, I can't see that. I don't even want to see that. I don't even want to see the Cleveland Browns even entertaining that regarding Derek Carr, because now we'll be going back into this fourth quarter competition. For what? So let Derek Carr go ahead to Atlanta or whoever needs him. Dillon Gabriel, if y'all don't know, that rumor is still holding traction that Kirk Cousins has been released from the Atlanta Falcons, or he's about to retire. And Michael Penix is still recovering from that injury he sustained against the Carolina on November the 16th, the same week, the same day that Seduersanders started playing in 2025. The same game that Seduersanders started playing in, first official NFL game, is the same game, same week. Well, not the same game, but the same week, same date that Michael Penix got hurt against the Carolina Falcons. So now they're saying, okay, Atlanta does need a quarterback now. So Derek Carr, he just needs to go over there since he's familiar with the NFC South, stay in that region and go ahead and compete against his own team, the Saints and the Buccaneers and the Carolinas. He just needs to stay there. He don't need to come to the AFC North because Cleveland better not come here with that foolishness, okay? What roles they play? I'm not really familiar with those players. Are those wide receivers? 420 Jenkins. See, while you typing, you may have stepped away. Let me go ahead and look. Let me go ahead and look up those names real quick. But yeah, SedueurSanders would have been a Seahawk tonight if the Browns didn't trade up to get him. And that's another thing. They traded up to get him, traded 2 fifth-round picks to get SedueurSanders, and took him through that rigmarole. That's how we knew that collusion was. I don't know if it's Andrew Berry at the last minute. Well, you know what? Let's give it to Andrew Berry because Jimmy Haslam said before SedueurSanders, especially in rookie minicamp, he didn't have nothing to do with the SedueurSanders pick. Remember, he said, "Oh, that was all the Andrew Berry's management." Andrew Berry, thank you. Maybe he said this is long enough, but SedueurSanders would have been a Super Bowl champion if he would have just left well enough alone. Let's see here, Vikings. Brandon. What is it? Wide receiver? Let me see. Here was his position. Wide receiver. Okay, yeah. Okay, so he's available. Well, if he is available, we shall see next month doing undrafted free agent. And Jefferson, I do remember Jefferson because we played against the Vikings, the Cleveland. That was the first game that Dillon Gabriel played against the Vikings. The Vikings. That was his first NFL debut in London this year. So I remember Jefferson. So yeah, if those players are available, I'm going to have to do some research on them. But next month, May the 9th, especially May the 11th, we'll be able to tell who Cleveland Browns has went after in the undrafted free agents. And I definitely hope they give Shilo Sanders a chance. At least let him try out. Because I do want to see Shilo out there. Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you. All right, Vesta. So hey, I want y'all to go ahead and flood social media if you can. And say, hey, please flood social media and say, hey, if Cleveland Browns would have left SedueurSanders, phrase it as if the Cleveland Browns didn't trade up to get SedueurSanders in last year's draft, SedueurSanders would have been a Seahawk, a Seattle Seahawks player tonight, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 60 champion. Please flood social media. I'm finna do that now. Matter of fact, I'm finna change the title of this video. So investors and viewers, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Grim Creeper. Thank you, 420 Jenkins. Because with that feedback, it allowed for something to drop down in my spirit and say, hey, remember the NFL original draft order. SedueurSanders would have been a Super Bowl champion. So investors, thank you so much. Thank you. And until next time, make sure you get your nose, your drink, and your vest. Thank you, Grim Creeper, and thank you, 420 Jenkins, for awesome show, feedback, and commentary tonight. Investors, there you go. So until next time, make sure you get your nose, your drink, and your vest, because we vested up today. All right, investors. Thank you.